ready. So, what I would say in reference to Alexia, and what I think about when I've seen her over the last, 6 or 7 episodes, she's like the wife that goes to counseling with her husband, but is looking for the counselor to fix him. Right. And ignoring the signs about her. And listen, don't get me wrong. There's a lot to fix and a lot of problems to unpack with Darian or Smoke, right? There's a lot of issues there, right? But what she's missing is how she landed in that situation, and not for 14 months, not for 14 weeks, but for 14 years. And there is a level of accountability. I don't care how many of those years were off, on, out, in, whatever. You were entangled with that particular person for 14 years. And I don't care if you were in Germany, Africa, Afghanistan, you were still in a situation with that person, and you still stay in a relationship with that person with 3 kids, 2 baby mamas. When do you start doing the math and assessing, why am I here? Because you know that old Bible saying, right? We gotta pull the splint out of our own eye, right? Before you start looking at somebody else's. And I think and every time I've heard her, whether it's on an IG live, whether it's in her sessions with Dr. Nicole, it's always about the things that Darian needs to do. And I would agree with her. There are some things that he needs to improve, but what are you doing? What are you owning? How are you getting better outcomes? And by the way, why do you want to be married to this person? What has he done to show you that he's going to be a good husband? He's actually doing you a favor by not marrying you. Do you see that? How many signs has he given you to show you that he is not marriage worthy, that he is not going to be a partner that you want to be entangled with, but you still keep setting a bar and putting out these things that you expect him to do? When what is he going to do different than be himself? So she keeps saying, and even in their last little moment where she was like, I'm feeling a little better, or, things are starting to go well. What? 2 weeks? 2 weeks of him saying things? But what has he shown you for the last however many years? He's shown you someone that's untrustworthy. You don't know where he is. You're debating about a condo being sold or not. There is no communication when he's not in your presence, right? So is this somebody you want to really be with? Are you really thinking about this clearly? That's my point. I want her to take the athletic advice, right? When you lose a game, you go back and you revisit that game, right? As an athlete, you lose that game, you go back and you rewatch the footage of your life and see how that game went wrong, how the outcomes went wrong, and you adjust for the next one. That would be my feedback for Alexia.
I mean, he won't lie. He said he came locked and loaded, heavy. Man brought out the goons. Okay, okay, sure. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Sugar Ray, what you rubbing the chin for? My chin. Talk to me.
You know, she talks about how she started with Darian when she was in college. I think, coming from the world of basketball myself, it's a very masculine sport. Yes, you have a lot of male friends, male counterparts, but it's very competitive. It's very masculine. It's very ha ha. And I think Darian, from a young age for her, was someone that made her feel feminine, was someone that made her feel soft, was someone that made her feel loved. And I think the reason why they were together for 14 years on and off is because this is a great example of how how Darian is her negotiation, right? She can't seem to just walk away from it. She can't seem to just leave it alone. It's this constant back and forth, and how does, and what do you think? And like when she was on the live with Kwame Brown, she kept asking him, well, what would you think? And how would you do this? And how would you do that? And I found it just really interesting because I think she does know. I think she knows in the depth of her core that he's not good for her, but she just doesn't know how to walk away from it. And I feel for her. She creates her experiences. She's the beginning and the end of it all. And unless she really comes to see, this is how it is. It's like when you're playing Pac-Man, you start at level 101. Right? And when you start at level 101, you don't realize by the time you get to level 106, that level 101 was so easy. You see what I'm saying? And maybe because she doesn't have a lot of experience because she started with Darren at such a young age, she doesn't understand that Darren is like a low-level player, right? He's a low-level dude. And because she doesn't have that experience like someone like a Kai, she's playing at this level at level 101. She can't even move to level 2. She can't even move to level 3. But if she were to release herself and walk away totally from the game, right, and play another game, she may be like, okay. So maybe I just needed to move to the next level or move away. And this is what Dr. Nicole was saying when she was talking to Darren, was eventually she's going to want to get off that loop wheel. She's going to want to get off that level. She's going to want to move and exit to the left, right? So we have to understand, I think, and like Britt was saying, giving her some grace because she started at a young age. He is all she knows, and I feel for her. I just hope she gets her wits and she moves on from this guy.
Sugar Ray, appreciate that, man. Bars. I'm hearing you. Thank you very much, Sugar Ray. Okay. I'm hearing this. Chef Jay, talk to me, man. What we chefing up in the kitchen right now for Darren and Alexia? What we chefing up right now?
Well, Jesus. Okay. So, I be want to give Alexia grace. I've been giving her grace all this time or whatnot and stuff like that, but it's not my grace. And I'm going to say this only because outside of this show on lives and all this stuff, you're constantly defending this man and his character, which he's showing you on this show and stuff like that. He's showing you who he truly is on this show. So for the fact that you're seeing all of this and you're still by his side, just like it's not him, it's everybody else, all this stuff like that, like you're just as bad as he is. There's no accountability on your part, just like it's none on his part or whatnot. You just fell into this 14-year relationship. Just somehow you just fell into it and you've been here all these 14 years or whatnot. And we're going to take away the first 10 years. The last 4 years you've been living here in the States with this man. How are you guys not having these conversations that you don't even know the relationship of his grandparents, the people that raised him? Like, I don't get it. Like, how is this even possible? You don't even know that though they were together, they had a toxic relationship. So now all of a sudden you want to be married out of the blue. Part of your reason for coming back is to start a whole foundation and be with this man seriously. So why aren't you having these serious conversations with this man at any point prior to now? So you'll sit there and say, 1 minute you're sitting there saying, I've never talked to him and we never had these conversations. And then another in a live, you're talking about, we talked about this before or whatever. We talked about relationships before. We talked about marriage before. I'm so confused. Are you playing us? You playing yourself? You trying to play Darian, but he's playing you all day long. He playing you better than a game of basketball than you play. So I don't even understand at this point. Like, it's like mind-boggling with you. Like, I'm trying to be on your side. I'm trying to be here for you. I was there for you with the baby mama situation because I've been there before and stuff like that. So I kind of understood where you were going with it and stuff. But like after the second one, real talk, you're not reliable. Because every time we break up, you're off somewhere else. So I couldn't stay with you. I wouldn't give you the time of day. And then on the behaviors that you're showing on the show, like I'm going to go to Darian right now. The behaviors that you're showing on the show right now, I called it before, and I'm glad he said it, that Dr. Nicole is bringing it out of him. He's being narcissistic. He has those characteristics that he's displaying. Now, I'm not saying he's so far gone that he can't be helped, and I'm not clinically diagnosing him because that's not my position. But him himself has even noticed how he is just all about self, all about my time, all of this stuff like that. Dr. Nicole is telling you how this woman can up and make the decision if she wants to leave because you're not giving her a ring at the end of the process. It's okay. And you're going to sit here and talk about, well, this is just not her 14 years. This is my 14 years. Like, are you serious? You strung her along for 14 years because you were comfortable with her just being there. So now that she's no longer comfortable, that's not your decision to make for her anymore. So you got to move. You got to move if she moves. If she decide, okay, you don't want to man up and make these decisions, this is what's going to happen. So be it. You should have man up when you were supposed to man up. You can't be having this girl on the sideline all day long talking about she's your star player, but you're not playing her. Like, when is she going to get her court time or whatever? When she going to get her time to shine? You don't let the baby mama shine. You don't let the side chick shine. You don't let everybody else. You let your homies that want to be at the condo all day shine or whatever and stuff. And yes, I'm with Eric in that moment too. Keep the condo because you're going to need a place to go. Again, I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. You're going to need a place to go because this BS with you, sir, I don't even know how she lasted this long not to see this from you. And I get it. When you're all in love, you just want to see the good in a person and all this stuff like that. And I got you on that. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a relationship with that type of person. And for that long, 2-3 years or whatever it was, I was seeing the good in that person. But at some point, those little tendencies come out and stuff like that. And you see them for who they are and stuff. Like, you just need to take their word for what it is and stuff and just move on with yourself. Be loving yourself. Be happy with yourself. I want to agree with you, Ray. This may be all she know, but it's not. She's been in other relationships before. She's been with other people before or whatnot. She just wanted to be settled, like, in this toxicity. I don't know why. If you never had a problem with, like, your family members getting divorced and all that, as you say, you never seen that, but you haven't had a conversation with this man to see what he's experienced and he's seen and all this stuff like that, to see if y'all even on the same playing field. It's like crazy. I don't like this whole situation is just like chaos to me. And I don't even know how it lasted like this long. Like, hell, at this point, just be married. Like, just stay together, be married, live in y'all happy little crazy bubble and stuff like that. Like, y'all both play each other and do whatever it is that y'all want to do, because y'all acting just like his grandparents at this point, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are just hurting each other, or he's hurting you and stuff. Oh, and don't let me forget this baby idea. This brother had the nerves to say the baby would keep them locked in. How, Sway? You wasn't even locked in with your other baby mama. So how the baby gonna keep you locked in with her? You just want to keep Alexia around so you can keep having access to her. So you probably have with your other baby mamas or whatnot. So it's like, you make no sense. You don't want to be married. You don't have a fair commitment because you say you don't have a fair, you don't have a fair marriage or whatever and stuff like that. You can't possibly have a fair commitment because you want to give somebody a baby. So that's a commitment or whatnot. So, like, what is your goal? What is your end goal? I don't even understand this man. Like, he makes absolutely no sense at the end of the day. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you want to give me a baby, but you don't want to give me a marriage, like the marriage. You don't want to be a in-home daddy. That's basically what you're saying. Because you're going to cheat. You'll get rid of the condo, but that doesn't stop you from cheating. It doesn't stop you from finding somewhere else to sleep around and stuff like that. So it's just like, you're totally like a mess. Please go help yourself. Like, leave the girl alone. Let her help be herself. Like, you're crazy, bro.